All right, now my second hand here can only get me in trouble. So it's not hanging out because it can get underhooked. I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. Once the underhook comes in, I can maybe get Kimura. It's very difficult for me to protect my arm here once it gets caught. So remember, the ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. I lift my hips up and I put my hand underneath Seth's leg. What this does here, now dig in there please, Seth. If he can still get the underhook, I don't know what's going on, because all I really need to do here, guys, is just make sure that anytime he's giving me a hard time, I can just move him around a little bit. As far as the cross choke, if you'll notice, guys, people, you might think I'm in danger for the cross choke here. Now, if I completely ignore Seth, I'd say, yeah, you never know, that sort of thing could happen. What I want you guys to understand is, as you're controlling the position, anytime you feel the other guy's hands on you, you need to start rocking his base. Make him put his hands on the ground. That's your first defense. My idea here is I'm going to create a lever in the right leg, but what this requires is counter pressure. So I'm extending my leg. I'm not extending it forward. I'm trying to hook his heel with my ankle. Can you retract your right leg, please, Seth? What this does is this is going to allow me, when I move with my right foot, can you take your right foot up in the air, please?
Nope.
No. Because I'm controlling Seth's hip, he's not going to be able to move. And when I move, because I've created this big lever and I'm attached to it, I can drop his hip to the mat. If he starts to rebound from that, back, starts to take him towards his butt. As soon as his hand hits, this is giving me an opportunity to come up. I'm going to take my right foot out the back door. This is very, very important. We're here. If I take my feet and I grab and I try to come up, Seth's going to come back over top with his hips and smash me. As soon as I'm starting lifting, I'm scooting and scooting. I'm keeping his foot elevated, guys. I'm going to base out behind me as I bring my left arm and my chest over top of Seth's leg. If my foot is not connected to him, see how he can move his foot? I need to make sure my leg stays extended, my knees stay pinched. Can you pull that? Can you get your leg out of there, Seth?
Can't move it.
Can't move it at all. Okay, what I'm going to do again is I can rotate. If I want the pass, I can rotate Seth to his back. This arm is going to give me a hard time because if I try to pull him back there, what's he going to do with it? It's always going to base, either there or here. And I don't like that, so if we come back, I maintain this connection, I reach up and I snag a hold of his arm. Now I take him to this shoulder, and depending upon what he does, I can either pass or take the back. I'll use my foot on his knee, base out, and then behind him. I can simply sit him forward. So generally what I'm going to look to do is I'm going to control the back of his gi to make sure he doesn't get too far away from me. I'm going to let go of his hip, and I'm going to hold his sleeve. I don't want Seth to drop down here. If it does happen, we'll have an answer for it, but that's not my number one. I want to extend him forward, sitting him down in front of me. I attack his neck because that's going to draw his left hand, if it's even capable of doing anything. Ideally, I'm holding his arm back, and it's allowing me to catch my hook. But say, for instance, Seth overpowers my arm. It's going to come up, protect, and give me the opportunity to secure my hooks. I always want to simultaneously attack the neck and the hooks whenever possible because one opens up the other. If you get me once he realizes he wants out of there, he may try to attack my hand with his sleeve, thinking that that's actually going to help. Because doing nothing, he can break my grip and now get his leg out of there, which is good for him. But I'm not going to let that happen. As soon as I see his hand make contact, I make contact and I control. Now, alternatively, some people will go so far as to put this hand over their head, saying like, all right, they don't want me to get it. They're like, ah, crap. And I'm like, all right, what do I do? I'll tell you what I do. I use this foot right here in the same way, and I bring him forward. I snag it. Sometimes it's a battle, many times it's not. But remember, people will come up with creative ways to try to stop you from grabbing them, so just be prepared. Now, all I'm going to do here again is I wing forward. I can throw my leg up and down, but this actually kind of sits him on top of me. That's not really what I want. The hole is right here. Drop him to his side. That's the path of least resistance right there, guys.